Welcome to the Voices of Dreamers podcast, where we share the stories of resilience, hope, and the lived experiences of the immigrant community. In this episode, we sit down with Jesus, a DACA recipient who opens up about his journey, his challenges, and the dreams for the future. From the emotional weight of leaving home to the uncertainty of navigating immigration policies, Jesus' story is one of courage, strength, and unwavering perseverance. Together, we dive into the realities of DACA renewals, the mental health struggles tied to uncertainty, and the vital role of community support. The conversation is a testament to the power of hope and the need for compassion from lawmakers and society at large. Stay tuned for an honest and heartfelt discussion about identity, belonging, and the future of immigration reform. Well,
Yeah,
welcome, Jesus.
thank you.
Thank you so much for wanting to come on and tell your story. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Like I said, really wanted to for like a long time, and I've been wanting to do it somehow, one way or the other.
Yeah, I love it. How long have you had DACA for?
Honestly, I want to say maybe 2015, 2016, because
Okay.
the first time I applied was it was without a lawyer. And the first time I applied, they said, if I remember this correctly, my parents took care of everything. Uh, 2 renewals ago was when I first started like doing it myself. But the first time, apparently, they said that I didn't have enough proof to show that I was here since I was, I guess, five years old.
Oh, wow.
So we finally brought a lawyer in, and the lawyer did her magic and everything. And she made us send yearbook pictures. She made us send like tests from kindergarten that I didn't even know my parents still kept.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're like, thanks.
And like, I remember we sent in like a report card from like my kindergarten year, and that's when they finally were like, "All right, you have enough proof," and that's when I got DACA for the first time.
My goodness, that must have been so stressful.
I, like I said, they were handling everything, and I still wasn't quite sure. I was kind of oblivious back then. I wasn't quite sure, what they were doing. I mean, I knew about my status, but I really wasn't quite sure what was going on until like they explained everything when my card came in and everything. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna take you to get your driver's test next week. You can finally get a job and everything." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "So this is what you guys are
This is what
worrying
you guys are
about?"
working on. Yeah. How old were you when you got it, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe 15 or 16.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Okay, okay. Awesome. So you said that you've been here since you were 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you know your story of how you came?
So
If you want to share.
it, yeah, I don't mind sharing. If I remember correctly, um, I came with two other DACA kids. By the way, they're also they're living the dream and everything.
Yeah.
They're another DACA success story. Like they're doing wonders. But I remember coming with them, and I was at my grandparents' house, and they came to pick me up. Like this friend that my parents knew, and I've always known that my parents were like, I didn't know they were in a different country. I just knew that they were like living far away.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go take you to meet your parents," and I was like, "Meet my parents?" And I was like, uh, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I go to my grandma's house on my dad's side, and she was like, "Tomorrow I'm taking you to, I can't remember. I'm from Veracruz, Córdoba, Veracruz."
Okay.
So I remember her taking me. I honestly don't remember, but somewhere far away. And I got into this car, and my padrinos were saying goodbye to me. Everyone, my aunts and uncles, and I was so confused because, like I said, I didn't realize the
Yeah,
extent
you're
of how
fine.
far I
You're like,
was.
"What's going on?"
I just thought it was a road trip. I was like, "Oh heck
Right?
yeah, road trip!" And I think 3 days go by on the road, and I start realizing I was like, "What's going on?" Like I think every day I was crying on the road, like wanting my grandma, because I was like, I don't know who any of you guys are. Is everything okay? And um, side note, when my dad finally came back to Mexico to like not pick me up, but to say to my grandparents like, hey, it's time to bring him over. I thought he was my uncle because
Oh,
it had been so long since I've seen him that I didn't realize who he was.
nah.
So, but yeah, I remember crossing, going by Texas because I remember them saying something about Rio Grande or something like that. And we arrive in like, I think January 17th or 18th was like when I arrived. So my anniversary of being here, it was like not too long ago.
Yeah, literally. I was like, hold on. It was just yesterday.
Like, yeah, 10 days ago or something, I think.
Yeah. I
But
was,
I remember,
I was like, hold on.
but yeah,
Wow.
I remember showing up to some random lady's house, and now that lady bakes me a cake every birthday, so it's pretty cool. So
Uh,
um, I remember showing up to her house, and she was like, "Hey, your parents are about to come," and I was like, "My parents?" I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, I thought in my head I had forgotten I was going to meet my parents. I thought, okay, drop me off at my grandma's house again, and when they walked in, I didn't recognize them either. Like, my mom was like, "Ven mijo," and I was like, I looked at the lady, I was like questioning. They're like, "That's your mom and dad," and I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "There's no way," and I was like, and that's all I remember from that experience.
oh my goodness. I was just talking to that girl previously, and we were just saying how like our parents, came here first to get like probably
Hmm.
everything set up for us, and who knows how long they were gone.
I
So,
think my dad left. Uh, if I remember correctly, it was either 3 weeks or 3 months after I was born.
oh wow.
And then my mom left on my third birthday.
Makes sense. Makes sense that you
Hmm.
would be like, I don't know these people.
Yeah, like they were unrecognizable. The only thing that I recognized from them was their voices because they would like call every day
Oh, okay.
and talk to me like when they would get off work or so.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. Isn't that crazy how we like experience stuff like that so little?
Like I can't imagine anyone like living here experiencing something like that.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Or even like what's happening now, with the raids
Hmm.
and stuff. Like, it's so scary to think.
I was surprised to exact. I live in a southern town in Mississippi, and raids are happening. Well, I don't know if they still are, but they were happening. I want to say maybe 30 to 40 minutes away from this little small town.
Oh, really?
And the majority of them is, being in the Bible Belt in a southern town, mostly, Republican states around here. They were, it kind of like broke my heart knowing, cause I've no, it's a small town. Everyone knows each other. Seeing people like going like, yeah, they deserve to go back. They asked for it and all that stuff. And I mean, these are people that I have known since I've been here. And to my surprise, people that actually, I know voted for Trump are going on Facebook and actually speaking out for us and being like, hey, some of them don't deserve this. Like the majority are here just, like make a good living, like better themselves and just to contribute to the country like everyone else is.
For sure. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that
It's like,
surprised me for being in a white, I mean, not a white, well, mostly,
right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
a Republican town for some people to actually like stand up and speak out saying that some of the raids the way they're being handled is unfair and wrong.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I don't see where you guys are getting these criminals, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like over here, they're hitting up a lot of the, like the farm workers. I'm in
Mhm.
California.
Dang. Yeah, I saw that they were just hitting like farm workers over here. Over here, it's mostly factory workers.
Oh, I can see
Uh,
that too. Yeah.
and it's and restaurant workers as well, like Mexican restaurant workers. They raided a Chinese restaurant the other day. About three, uh, no, I want to say either two or three restaurants, Mexican restaurants have been not shut down, but like closed until further notice because of the lack of help so far because of the raids.
That's like a fear right there.
Yeah.
That is that is crazy that they're doing this. And it's like, how are they even getting away, with all this stuff? It's like how like these poor people go into work and they just come in and take them without. I thought, you know what I just read? I thought that they were supposed to give businesses at least 72-hour warning before they show up.
See, that's what I was reading, and but I'm assuming I don't know, like I guess, which is kind of sad that most of the Hispanos or just any immigrant really doesn't know like the proper procedures. So
Oh, for
I
sure.
noticed that most of the ICE agents are just taking advantage of that and just rallying them up. And I have seen videos of where they actually know their rights, and the ICE agents realize they can't do anything about it because they're actually knowing their rights, unlike all the other ones that they just raid and take away like nothing.
Sad. You said you didn't really know about DACA because your parents were the ones that took care of it. But
Hmm.
once you got it, when you were like, okay, like I can get my license, I can go ahead and get, my social security number if I want to get a job right now, I can. Did you feel like a bigger sense of belonging now because you kind of understood what was happening?
I like belonging in this country, you mean? Yeah,
Like,
or
like if your friends were already, like if some of them had cars and stuff and they were already working, like did you feel like, oh, like I can do that too? You didn't have like that experience where some of your high school friends, maybe couldn't get a car, couldn't get a job
hmm.
because they didn't have that.
Well, here I don't know how it was in California, but in Mississippi and parts of Alabama, I'm like at the border of Mississippi and Alabama, and here, if my parents, were undocumented and didn't have a license, I couldn't get a license until I turned 18. So I really couldn't experience uh, being able to drive like my friends were until um, 17 because there's two DMVs near us. One of them was saying that we couldn't get a license until 18. The other one was more lenient and understood what some of us were going through, and they were like, well, 17, you can come on, take your driver's test, take your driving test, and if you pass, you get a license. So most of my friends were experiencing the permits, getting their first car, getting their license at 15 and 16. Um, I really didn't. I kind of got to experience it kind of alone in my class at 17, and most of them. That's when most of them started realizing what DACA was, like I was, because they were like, "Well, why did you now just get it?" And I would explain it to them, and some of them were like compassionate, but like I guess more the ones that were brought up with I know I don't want to say the old ways, but
Sure.
the I guess those kind of ways they were just like, well, why don't you just do it the right way? And I was like, well,
You're
they're
still been a
really
child.
yeah. But I remember I was able to get my first job at 16, and I worked at the local grocery store here, and I enjoyed going to work. Like I was like, I get to go to work. Like even though my mom is driving me every day and I can't drive myself, I was like, because my parents told me like you can't work unless it's like a place that can just pay you cash. And I was like, fair enough. And I was like, but when I finally got that first job, got my first paycheck, it was like the best thing that's ever happened to me because I was like getting to go to work, experiencing that. Like most kids were like getting their first job and spending their money on whatever they want, and finally I could do that without having to like ask my parents who were financially struggling instead of asking them for money. So it's kind of like I felt proud of myself because I could lift the weight off their shoulders and start taking care of like some of my expenses.
True, true. That is good to know that Mississippi. That's true. Like every state has like their own laws and stuff.
Hmm.
Do they allow now? Like here in California, they have a law where if you don't have documents, you're able to still get a driver's license. Do you guys have something similar?
Um, Mississippi, since it's more like I guess it stated before, it's like a red state.
Right.
With my brother though, when he was able to get his license at 16, unlike me, because I took him, and all they required was someone in your family to have a
Right.
license. So I had one, and he was able to. He's a citizen, so he was able to experience all what I couldn't, at the at the right age, I guess you could
Right.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Hmm.
Okay. That's weird that they would do something like that. As long as somebody in the household has a valid driver's license, then you can get it for somebody else.
And I think now it's to the point where if someone brings you, as long as they have a license, you can get your license.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Hmm.
Yeah. Has anybody like asked you and been like, "Hey, can you come with me?"
I mean, most people have, but uh, I most of the time I have to say no because like I'm
Yeah.
like I'm at work or
Oh, true.
just um I don't know, like it's mostly work is the only reason that's been keeping me from like helping other people like
Yeah.
get their license like that.
I would think that that would be like a thing. Just
I mean,
anybody being like,
I've known people like my cousin who is also a DACA recipient, which is I guess shout out to him. He's like living it up in Nashville as working in an immigration firm.
"Okay, look at that. That's amazing."
So that's another DACA success story right there.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh my God, I love Nashville. I went there once. I don't know if their policies, but
Yeah.
Nashville is fun.
But I know he was asked before to like take people and he would take them too.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That like it's opened up doors, for you guys.
Hmm.
Are you in college?
I went to college for 2 years. I wanted to do more, but I didn't find out until I wanted to always go to junior college first because I was in marching band in high school, and the junior college that I was going to here, it's called Northeast Mississippi Community College, and I've always wanted to be part of their band. Like their band was called the Show Band from Tigerland, known to be one of the best bands in the community college around like the state of Mississippi. So
Okay.
I wanted to join them. So I was going to go to community college first, and I wanted to be an architect. And so orientation comes up. Well, not orientation. I went to go visit with my dad, and they were like, "Do you need to fill out your FAFSA?" And me not knowing and about all like dreamers can't get FAFSA, and that was like I felt so embarrassed when like the financial advisor came up to us and was like, "Hey, since you're not a citizen, you can't get financial aid." And like the face I saw in my dad, because like I knew I was still gonna have to pay a little bit, but I was like, betting on FastFi to like help me out a little bit. But when I saw his face, it just kind of like broke my heart, and I decided to go and pursue a 2-year degree. It was like a technical degree in drafting, and right now, it has. I wouldn't say it's opened up as many doors as it could with a 4-year degree, but like I'm able to do as much as I wanted to with it as I could. Like I'm working in as product development at Williams Sonoma right now, and I think it's actually a California-based company.
Yeah.
And I'm over. I wouldn't say over. I just started like maybe 6 months ago, but I'm the guy that designs the poly and fiber that goes into the couches for Pottery Barn and the West Elm collection.
Wow, that's
hmm
amazing.
And well, so that 2 year degree was able to get me to like that high up of a level in a
Yeah,
company like Williams Sonoma.
amazing.
hmm
Wow. Do you guys have I know there's like scholarships for dreamers,
See, I think back then I was when I was looking for scholarships for Dreamers, it wasn't. I
right?
wouldn't say it was rare to hear about
Yeah,
those scholarships, but I found out about them like the few that were out there. I found about them too late.
yeah.
But luckily, I was able to get a paid internship through it, which almost my status almost stopped me from doing that because I had to sign up for the draft. And I don't know if in Mississippi for some reason Dreamers couldn't sign up for the draft, and that was
Oh,
the one of the like the requirement that was about to stop me from gaining a paid internship at my college. But I think someone else was a dreamer there that did that internship and jumped all the hoops before me to the point where they can like were able to be like, hey, he's a dreamer. He doesn't need to have this requirement, so he can go on ahead. And that's how I was able to pay the rest of my college off.
that's cool.
hmm
Wow. That is amazing. Wow. Well, now every time I look at Williams Sonoma, I want to be like Jesus.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I can send you the collection names that I've been developing. So if you ever want to buy one, let me
Yeah,
know.
literally support you.
But
I
yeah,
love it. That is so cool. Look at you doing
hmm
huge stuff. Yeah. That
I
is
mean, it's
really
great.
cool to
Like
see. Yeah.
I've been able to work at a silicon plant that supplies about I think 3 to 5% of silicon in the United States. I worked at a motorhome place, Tiffin Motorhomes, which was I think it's the number one motorhome company in the country, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they would always tell us.
Yeah.
So I was able to work as a manufacturing engineer. So if anyone out there has a 2024, 2025 motorhome, I designed the cabinets in there.
There you go. Look at that.
hmm
Yes. You should put like a little signature, in everything you make.
I wanted to, but that was the CEO's thing. He would sign the cabinet doors, so I
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
I love it. Put it like in a nail, just like carve it in there.
I wanted to do that on the doors, just have a little like sketched in when they
Yeah,
came off the CNC router, just have like my initials or something on there.
that is funny.
Yeah.
So the next question, how do
hmm
you cope with the uncertainty right now that's going on with like all the immigration stuff, especially with this new president who took office? And then you being in like in a southern state, I feel like it kind of hits you guys a little more.
Well, right now it's when his first term was when it was Trump's first term, I was a little bit more worried because he took DACA away, and then luckily a judge brought it back. Well, now that he's back, I mean, I'm still worried, but like we've been through this road before and we came out strong still, so I have hope that, maybe someday, and he said before that he wanted to work with, you know, Democrats on a pathway to citizenship for us. So I'm hoping and praying that he keeps that promise, but at the same time, I mean, I'm ready for disappointment just in case. And I guess the next president that comes, hopefully they do something. But especially with all these raids and everything, like I know DACA can't really, they can't get us because we have a work visa. The thing that I'm worried about most, well, technically the people that I'm worried about most is my parents because if it was just me or my other brother, where he's 18, I'm 20, 24, we could handle ourselves. If for some reason, God forbid, they get them, we could handle ourselves. But we have a 8-year-old little brother, and I know we could do whatever we had to like take care of him, but like it ain't the same, having our parents there helping us take care of him. And right now, with the raids being like 40 minutes away, I have not called my mom as much as I've been having these past few days. Cause like every time I know she's on break or every time she's on lunch, even my dad, I'll be calling them like, "Hey, y'all good? Y'all okay?"
Yeah,
Like I was like, "Remember, y'all know y'all's rights. Like,
yeah,
please be careful."
for sure.
But like personally, I mean, I'm worried. I mean, I am worried, but at the same time, I don't want to let that worry consume me from doing like what I'm supposed to be doing, living my life. I don't want to live my life in fear, especially with all that going on. But in the back of my head, I mean, I'm always going to be like on my toes, especially for my parents, because as much as me and them argue, I know for a fact if something were to happen to them, like they were sent back to Mexico, which I hope they don't. Um, me and my brothers probably would not be able to like uh, I mean, I wouldn't say live on, but like handle the struggles of like every
Oh,
life without them.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. They're they're a huge help for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
And
is. Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
No, no, you're
And
good.
right now, like I base my worry off to see how much. i- If my dad says it's time to worry, then I worry. But like today, once he said, "Hey, there's nothing to worry about," it's day two of them being in Mississippi. It looks like they're only getting the criminals, so don't worry. So once I hear him say that don't worry, like just a little bit of weight comes off my shoulder, but I'm still on my toes about it. So
And our parents have already kind of gone through this once, like they've
hmm
been here since what? Since like the 80s and 90s. So they've already kind of experienced this. And I feel like this time around, they kind of just want to shield us and they're like, it's going to be okay.
yeah, and I hate when they do this, but they're always like, "Si me llevan," like if they take me, they take me, and I was like, "No, like
That's
they
not the
can't."
point.
I was like, you're not supposed to let them take you. You can't say that.
Yeah, true.
Like we need you." And like my parents are like, like. Then I was like, if they take me, they take me. And I was like, please stop saying that. Like, it's not helping my feelings.
Literally, it's like my anxiety's through the roof already.
Yeah, I was like, I already have anxiety. I don't need more anxiety.
True. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like, like you said, you don't want to be living in fear, and that's maybe like their way of not living in fear, or not showing it.
Hmm. Yeah, because I mean, the first term, I was his first term is when I was in college. I was graduating high school. I think I was a few months away when he took it away. I took DACA away, and that like struck fear in my eyes because I remember he gave a deadline. If your DACA expires before this date, you can renew. Mine expired literally, I think, a week or two after that date. So I couldn't renew, and I was so scared because like I could still go to college because I mean my application went through and all that stuff, but like after that, like if it wasn't reinstated, like I couldn't hold a job with my degree, and I would have probably just been lost.
Yeah. So true. Have you seen like people are starting to even before he took office, some people were starting to self-deport.
I saw that, and I can s- I can see the reasoning why because it's gone through my head multiple times. And the other day I got on like LinkedIn, Indeed, and looked up jobs that would require my skills and experiences. But like I said before, being in a small town, everyone knows each other. I have like it's just the only family that I have here is my parents, my brothers, and my uncle. And I have gotten friends that have become family here, and I would like I said, I understand some of them self-deporting, going back and living without that worry. But leaving like the only home I've ever really known and all like the friends that I have made that have become family, like it would have to be like a last resort for me to do
Right, right.
that.
True. Yeah. I don't think I would be able to do it unless, like you said, it was like they're literally knocking on my door.
Mhm.
And even
Like, if
then, I would still, be like, "Show me that warrant."
like, if it would have to be to the point where, like, like, this is a joke just in case, like, Trump himself would have to come and tell me, like, "Hey, DACA is no more. Go
Right.
home." That
Yeah.
would be the point where I would, like that's the point where I would, like, go back and
Sure.
self-deport
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. It's like, yeah, I would leave at least with like some sort of dignity.
I at least would want a chance to, like, say goodbye to all my friends and, like, the people that have helped me out through my, like, entire time living here.
True. That's a great point. Yeah. It's like it's like that Wolf of Wall Street scene. I'm not
Mhm.
leaving.
I'm not leaving. Yeah, I I think I reposted that meme once, DACA got reinstated. I was like, "I'm not leaving."
Literally, it's like, no, come and get me yourself if you want me out of here.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
goodness. It's insane. I feel like we're gonna be okay though. I feel like
mhm.
even though they're feeling that fear and and that they feel it like that's their only option, like I feel like we should wait it out a little bit longer.
Like I said before, we went through this again his first term,
Mhm.
and there's always gonna be people in the I guess, in the that have positions in government that are for us.
True.
Like, I think if I'm not if I'm right, I think it's the governor of Illinois who was saying that, I mean, he agreed to take the bad ones out, but, like, he wanted to keep the good ones because they were, like, helping, contributing to the communities and all that stuff. We're always gonna, like, yes, there might be people, like, hating on us and telling us to go back to where we came from, or, like, do it the right way to the point where they don't understand.
Yeah.
But that I've noticed that, like, for every one of those, there's always, like, more that are, like, for us and, like, trying
Yes.
to, like, support us. As long as, like, we're contributing to the community and not doing anything wrong, I feel like there's always gonna be people, like, having our backs and everything.
Sure. Yeah. And I feel like I've seen a lot of that. Even though you do see, a few videos of people saying, some mean stuff, I feel like
Mhm.
there's more compassion out there for us than the hateful ones.
Yeah, like, the other day, it was actually yesterday, my mom had to tell me to quit posting on Facebook. She's like, "Yeah, stop, like, you can't keep arguing." Like, I wasn't really arguing, but I was just trying to voice my opinions and be like, "Look, like, we're not all criminals," and all that stuff. She had to get on to me and everything and be like, "Look, some people just won't understand.
Yeah.
You
So
just
true.
gotta, like voice your opinion, and if they don't understand, then so be it."
Very, very true. Because yeah, you can tell them and you won't be able to make them change their mind.
Which I have noticed, and, most, I guess, older folk that have been, like, living, like, as Republican their entire life, they don't really know the process of what it is to become a citizen.
Yeah.
And, like, where I work at, there's multiple people, even, like, well, not just where I work at currently, but, like, all the workplaces that I've had, where, like, not just workplaces, but communities that have, like, friend groups and everything. Once I started explaining to them, what DACA was, what the process was, and all that stuff, how long I've been here, the first thing they always say is like, "And you're not a citizen yet?" And I'm like, "Yes." I mean, I'm not yet because we really technically don't have a pathway besides marrying someone that is a citizen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love that we have a way, but, like, I don't like that that's the only way that we have,
Sure. For sure.
because like I said, living in a small town, every time I would date someone that wasn't Latino, their parents would always ask, like, "Is he just using you to get papers?" And
Stop it.
it's caused, like, 2 or 3 breakups to the point where, like, I've half had, like, uh, not, like, witness, but, like, I have been, like, racially, like, uh, not hurt, but, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but, like, it's gotten to the point where the dad of my ex-girlfriend pulled me over one time and chased me around town and, like, cussed me out because he thought I was using his daughter for citizenship.
And dude, I mean, you don't even look like you could be Mexican. But this is what he thought.
Yeah, I think it's just the lighting.
It's
Trust
just a
me.
lady, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to admit it, but like, I don't really. I used to not act Mexican. Like, I used to like not listen to Mexican music because I was scared. I was scared to like, especially when Trump got his first term. I was scared to like, even act Mexican or even speak Spanish because I didn't want to be like, looked at or anything. I mean, but I realized I mean, now I'm embracing my, my heritage more. I speak Spanish, like throw in a Spanish word here and there. I'll be listening to like Mexican music, but I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm whitewashed, but like growing up, like I said, Southern town, all I hear is country music, see like people wearing boots and all that stuff. That kind of just became like part of who I was. And
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I guess like my Mexican heritage and my like the Southern heritage that I live around just became one.
True, true, yeah. That used to be me. I was a big old country girl back in the day until everybody started coming out being Republican. I was just like, why?
And I used to like not want to like, dress the way I was, like dress Southern because like, uh, that's how most Republicans were, like, country Southern like folk. And it would just, I didn't want to like just dress like them or be affiliated with them. But I mean, the more I talked to them, the more I realized some of them, despite them, voting for Trump, they were still like, they still had like, immigrants back, DACA's back and all that stuff. They supported them despite, voting for them. And the majority of them just vote because they see like, the red and the R beside their name. And that's who they think, that's who they should vote for. But like I said it before, like the way I kind of just adapted to the way around here and got like a mixture of Southern heritage and Mexican heritage together.
Because you have that accent down.
Yeah, I try not to like let my Southern accent come out every now and then, but it's really hard. Like,
Oh, yeah, I mean, especially if you grew up here and you've been here since you were 5, I mean, you're gonna pick it
hmm
up.
yeah, it used to be really really bad in like in high school. Like I actually like if I was on the phone with someone, they did not think I was Mexican.
Right? Yeah. I get
hmm
that too. I get that, like, they'll be talking to me and they're like even, like, my coworkers are like, "Oh my god, you sound like an old white lady on the phone." And then they see me and they're like, "Oh."
They're like, oh, you're not. You're the
Yeah.
opposite. Yeah,
But,
and
yeah.
but I mean, like I said before, like it just became who I was, and like I stopped being like scared of like showing my Mexican heritage, and also I really wouldn't say. I mean, even though I grew up here and it was the only home that I knew, I stopped being like ashamed of showing like both heritages that I grew up with, one that's in my blood and one that I grew up in.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I spoke with a guy who went, I don't remember where he went. He was from Florida and he was doing a job in a southern state. Is sundown towns a thing?
So
Is that what
I
they're
have
called?
been, yeah, sundown towns. So they used to. I know they were a fact, a thing back in the past, especially the days of segregation and all that. And I'm not quite familiar with them being still, I guess, active, you would say.
Yeah.
But I have seen like over the news, like in Alabama, there was a town all over TikTok that I don't know if you saw. It was called Coleman, Alabama, and that it was still an active sundown town. People were going on there. Were like, if you're like a colored person, stay out like after like the sun goes down.
Yeah.
And well, people started actually speaking up, and they're like, hey, I live here, I'm Latino, this is not true at all. Like, most of these people are like the friendliest people out there.
Oh, okay.
And but like I mean, they were for sure a thing, and one of them in this is actually in the same county that I am, like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes away.
Oh, that's close.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone through there like when the sun's down, nighttime, and I mean, yes, it used to be one, but like now, I mean, maybe I wasn't like in the right spot of that town, but like now it's a very welcoming community.
Okay. I was wondering that. I was like, "Oh my god," because I know I've heard it, like, in a song and stuff.
Hmm.
A few years ago, this country artist made it a whole thing.
Oh yeah, I think I know what song you're talking about. But yeah, they were definitely a thing. But like now, um, I mean, I don't think so. Like I said, maybe I haven't been in the right part of that town, but like from what I've seen and experienced, um, I mean, I've been to that one in Alabama too as well, and the one here, and it's it looks like a very welcoming welcoming community, and it also has a very wide Hispanic population.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Hmm.
I love it. Um, Next question. If you could speak directly to lawmakers or if you can speak directly to the president and talk to them about our community, about immigration reform or something for dreamers, what would you like them to know about us?
Honestly, I was thinking about this question when I saw your list, and I mean, we're just trying to make a name for ourselves. That's what I would tell them. Like,
Yes,
we're not here to harm the community. I mean, yes, there's gonna be bad apples in every like group of people, but like some of us, like me and for example, my cousin who's doing great in Nashville right now, we want to live the American dream. Like, I want to like own land. I want to own a house. I want to be able to vote. I want to have the same opportunities that a U.S. citizen would have. And I would ask them to just, give us a chance. Like
yeah,
we've been renewing DACA every 2 years since it was reinstated. And like, if we don't have a clean record, you know, we would not have it anymore.
literally.
And the
I
majority
was
of us,
panicking a few years ago. I got a speeding ticket. Oh my God, I was dying. I was
and
like, oh,
I have a cheat code for speeding tickets because I translate for the chief of police in where I'm from. So I've gotten 2 speeding tickets, and I just call him and I'm like, "Hey, remember that one time I translated for you?"
oh my God, I love it. Look at
But
you.
yeah, I would ask them to just give us a chance. If we were all criminals, like some of them say, like I understand some of them, some politicians understand that there's going to be bad apples, but there's some that just straight up believe that we're all here to do harm. If that was true, then at this point, no one would really have DACA because, you need to
Yes,
have a clean record to keep it.
for sure. Yeah.
And I mean, the number one thing would just be I would ask them, please give us a chance. Like, we're just here to try to like make a living, trying to make a name for ourselves. We just want to have the same opportunities that every American citizen has.
And I feel like we've proven ourselves already so much. We've been doing this program for over 10 years,
Hmm.
having to pay that fee,
And
having
every
to,
year it goes up. So,
true. Yeah. And, getting your fingerprints done and stuff. And it's like, what else must we do?
I mean, we pay into Social Security that I'm pretty sure we will not see until we become like citizens. And even then, the ones that we won't get back pay for that. Like all that Social
Yes,
Security taxes that
true.
we paid, like we won't see any of that. We're contributing and helping like government funding that we won't be able to see. But like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I would just if I could just say a few words to them, I would just say ask them to just give us a chance and let
That's
us
simple.
let us prove y'all wrong and like for y'all to quit thinking that we're just all here to do bad. Like I said, I understand, there's a couple bad apples in every batch, but the majority of us just want to make a name for ourselves. We want to help out, and honestly just make our parents proud. Like I have a dream to just like, buy a big patch of land, take my dad there and be like, "Hey, look, this is what I was able to do."
Yeah. Oh, yes. You'll be able to. You'll be able to.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's that simple. Like, we just want to be given a chance to show you guys that we deserve it. Like, we've earned it, I feel
Mhm.
like.
And I mean, and I wouldn't say we're not asking for much, but like we're just asking for that one chance. Like
Yeah.
some of us have gone through like even to the point where we got like PhDs, and that's even with even with and without scholarships, that's still like, pretty good money. We've held jobs going to college and all that stuff. And I mean, like me, I mean, I may have just gotten a 2-year degree, but I was able to like with DACA just do all that, just,
Yeah. No, and
the
that's
2-year degree.
amazing. Yeah.
And people are out here getting, multiple degrees and like with DACA, and like their walls are decorated with all these certificates and all that stuff. And like it's, through like every obstacle that we've been, given, we've always been able to overcome it. So,
Yes. Yeah. So, so true. We're gonna
mhm,
overcome this one too.
hopefully so. I mean, I pray and I hope, and I mean, I have confidence that something good will come out. And like I said, we can't just be thinking in the negative. Like I said, we've gone through this before, and at least now he's saying that he's willing to. I mean, Trump is willing to negotiate a way for us to get like, citizenship. I'm assuming the government saw how much we benefit, and they realize, they got to do something. It's just the fact that they all got to agree on one thing.
Right? True. Yeah. That would be like the biggest surprise, how he's been signing executive order like almost every day, it feels like.
Hmm.
Like I would be like it would be like the most amazing surprise to wake up and, you pick up your phone and it says Trump signed an executive order. DACA is, gonna
Getting
be giving citizenship to everybody.
yeah. I mean, if that happened, like that, I would literally like. I don't even know. I feel like I'd call into work and just celebrate all day.
Literally, be like, oh my God, carne asada, you guys.
Invite the whole town, be like, "Hey guys,
Literally.
have a virtual Zoom call with every DACA recipient." Be like, "We did it."
Yes, that would be like the most amazing thing. And I feel like it's so possible. I feel like he has the power to do it. It's just, will he?
Yeah, he's just. I mean, I'm not speaking. I don't want to speak, wrong about him, just in case.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, just in case it comes back and like fights everyone, in the rear
Yeah,
end.
true.
But I mean, he does have the power. So, and like like my cousin said, just I guess let him cook, and hopefully maybe one day he'll like reveal like his master plan and be like, "Hey, this is what I was planning. Y'all have
Right.
y'all's citizenship and all that stuff." Especially with what he said, I think anyone that has even a 2-year degree should be eligible for a green card. And I
Yeah.
mean, I agree with that. That's one of the few
Yeah.
things that I agree with of
Yeah.
what he's said before.
Yeah. Especially like you said, like all of them are getting, their PhDs, their doctors, engineers,
Hmm.
and they've given it their all.
And um, I don't know if you have read, but apparently even with some degrees, DACA like stops most. I wouldn't say stops them, but like the status keeps them from being able to like withhold that job. Like in Missouri, I saw a video on TikTok about this a DACA recipient that graduated as a nurse, and she wasn't able to take her certification exam because the boards of nurses over there for that state did not like, didn't want like I guess DACA recipients, or she was the first DACA recipient to like become a nurse, and they didn't know
Oh,
what to do, so they were just like, you can't take it. So I think if I remember correctly, she had to go all the way to Kansas to take her certification test, and even then, after she got her certification, Missouri still wouldn't let her. Like the state of Missouri, the board of nurses would have not let her, become a nurse there.
Wow. And you know what? That goes to show, like, also who we are, like, sh they told her no, she went and found another way to do
Hmm.
it, and it's like, "Okay, that's not gonna stop me."
So yeah,
It's like,
I mean, we find a way. We'll like overcome
yeah,
any obstacle that's given to us.
literally. Literally, yes, yes. Um, what are your hopes for the future for both for yourself and for our dreamer community?
I mean, the biggest hope is get citizenship, but like
Yeah,
this may sound a little selfish, but like one big hope for like the dreamer community is to finally like I guess get the recognition that we deserve. Like I'm not saying like need to get awards, but like just even a little article about us, like maybe on the worldwide news or something that like that we were actually like that we're good people,
yeah,
and like at least I'm not saying show everyone's single accomplishments, but like at least be acknowledged to the point by Republicans, Democrats, everyone alike that we're here to do good and that we are here to like, make America a better place and just contribute.
yeah,
That's one of my biggest hopes to at least, be recognized to as someone here to like do like make a name for ourselves. Not just, being like a status, not just be known as like I mean, even when I get citizenship, I'm always going to claim myself as a DACA recipient. But
right.
even then, like that's not the only thing I want to be known as. I want to be known for more like something greater than like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just something great.
Yeah. I feel like what you said, the recognition that
Hmm.
even though they may label us, whatever it is that they call us, but just the recognition to be like they were children.
Hmm.
They came here at no fault of their own, and they've made a life for themselves here. I mean, it's the least that they can have.
Yeah, and like I mean, I don't want it to make it feel like we like a burden to give us citizenship. I want to like at least like a reward for what we've been through. Like
Yeah,
because like I mean we've been through a lot, and like I feel like that's that would be a pretty good reward for us to get. Instead
for
of like
sure.
making it sound like a burden, like them saying like, oh, we have to give them citizenship. Make it sound like
True, true.
I, f- I I'm not saying I want them to say it, but I feel like it should be to the point where like we get recognized and they're like they deserve citizenship for
Yes,
what they've accomplished, for what they've been through, and for all that they overcome.
so true, so true. Have you considered doing advanced parole, or have you done advanced parole?
See, I've considered it, but with the way my lawyer explained it and everything, you got to have like a good reason, like work, like sick family member, and stuff like that. Well, when I renewed my DACA last year, and I think 2 years ago, October of 2023, when I went to go speak with her, she like labeled everything out, like all the reasonings that I could. Well, I really never, had a reason to like. I mean, thank the Lord, like none of my family members down there were sick or anything like that, and my job didn't really have any opportunities to like travel like internationally. So I never really got the chance to go. And even now, she advised, me, and I don't know how many other lawyers are like under the Trump administration to, she would rather not send someone, you know, out of the country, especially, where one day he can be like advance parole's canceled and, someone be stuck outside the country.
Oh,
That's what she
got
was
it.
worried about.
Uh,
And I have seen like, anything can like become a good reason to do advanced parole. Like wisdom teeth taken out, like some type of like cosmetic surgery or something like that. But I I mean I have considered it, and even now with under the Trump administration, I if I could find like a good reason, I mean I'd probably do it as like I would take that chance because I have seen multiple people when they get married and they start applying for that citizenship that they get denied and like have to stay in Mexico or their country of origin until they actually get accepted.
That's true, yeah. You said your dog is expiring this year, no?
I think it expired February of last year, February or March of last year.
Oh, okay, okay. So you just got it.
hmm
Okay.
So next year, I think like maybe March or so, it's when I would have it expires. So I think I would have to renew it sometime in like September or so.
I've heard that people are renewing like a year ahead.
I've been my lawyer told me 120 days to 150 days
Yeah.
because if you do
Uh-huh.
anything more than that, they will just put it like on the shelf and then wait for like the 150 days to come along. And sometimes they could even forget.
Right? Yeah.
So I mean,
Like charge you twice.
yeah, and I mean, I'm thinking about like as soon as that 150 days hits, like there's a website, I forgot what website it was, but like you can type on in there when your DACA expires, and it'll give you like the 90 days, the 120 days, the 150 days,
Yeah.
and I I am planning on making an appointment. If it doesn't fall on a weekend, on those 150 days to go to her office and be like, I'm ready to renew.
Right? It's like you send it through now.
Like I don't, cause I forgot when it was. I think three renewals ago, where it was 2019 when I renewed, and it was going to expire in 2020. 2019, the lawyer that I had then, he was new, and I sent it in to him, and it was the holidays, like December. So he was off from like I think Christmas week to like maybe second week of January. And I mean, I'm not talking bad about him. He's a good lawyer,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
mistakes
I was like,
happen.
wow,
So
look at him. He gets to
yeah.
take a long vacation.
But I mean, he's a good lawyer from what I've heard. But like, I mean, like I said, mistakes happen. But coming to find out, like it being his like first year handling all these DACA renewals and all that stuff, that he had forgotten about mine on the desk, and think like a month before like my DACA is about to expire, I was like, I haven't heard anything. Like I haven't gotten that letter about like, see if my fingerprints are going to be able to be reused, or if I need to go like do an appointment. And I finally caught up there, and I think it got to the point where my mom caught up there to his boss, which was my first immigration lawyer. And she finally talked to him, and she took it over, even though she wasn't over that anymore. And she somehow expedited that. And it was also like the beginning of COVID where everything was closed.
Yes.
So I remember like looking on the website saying like immigration offices are being closed from this date, and I'd be like, okay, that date would come and be like closing extended to this date, and I was like, oh my. So I think I went about, it expired in February. I didn't get it until April. So yeah, it was that long, and I had to quit my job and everything.
Oh, wow.
hmm
Oh my gosh, so what did he do?
Luckily, when with it being COVID, I didn't have any bills back then. So with the money saved up, I was lucky enough to just use that. And we were lucky, DACA recipients were lucky enough to get like the stimulus checks too.
Oh, sure.
So I was able to use that money to like pay any like expenses that I had and all that stuff. And even then, also everything just fell into place. Stimulus checks and my taxes hit, so I
Oh,
was able to
nice.
use all that money to like
Perfect.
make it through those like few months that I didn't have a job.
Scary.
hmm
That was my fear a few years ago when everybody was saying that they were taking really long.
Mhm.
to expedite everybody's stuff. And I was just like on TikTok, and everybody's like, yeah, like I haven't heard back. It's already been, 6 months. And I'm like, what do you mean it's been 6 months?
Dang, like, I would
Yeah.
last year when I, renewed it, um, I had the dates confused, and instead of, like, renewing it at the 120 days, I renewed it at the 90 days. So
Oh,
my lawyer even got onto me. She was like, "I told you, 120 days or 150 days. Why did you wait so long?" I
yeah.
was like "I forgot, like, I'm so sorry," and all that.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where my expiration date hit and everything, and I mean, I didn't know what to do, but luckily, like, when I would call up there, like, there's a certain day that, they say that if it hasn't gotten there by this point, that you can do like a I forgot what it's called, but like an inquiry. And
Okay.
as soon as I did that inquiry and called to the immigration offices, they like I gave them. It got to the point where I memorized my case number
Oh
somehow,
my
having
God.
having
Yeah.
to repeat it so much. But like that one time I called, she was like, "Oh, I see it here," and she was like, "Let me get that like expedited as soon as possible." And like after that call, it was a Friday, I remember. That Monday, like, when I got off work, I checked my status and it said, "Your status has been approved." And I was like, "Oh, thank
Yes.
goodness."
Yeah. Oh my God. Isn't that crazy how quick it can be?
Yeah, I've seen
Wow.
people like take like on I think Dreamers Together on Facebook, like they would post in like how long
Somebody
it'll
else
take.
mentioned that group.
It's a really
Yeah.
good group. I suggest joining it on Facebook, Instagram. I think even they have it on TikTok.
Yes. I
They
have it right here. Yeah.
and they like even it's just not like a it's I think they can even help you like do your DACA renewal and all that stuff, and even do your advanced parole. They help you with any like I guess immigration like question. So I recommend anyone out there like to join it.
Yeah, I've been
But
hearing that. And I had to make a Facebook to join it, so I'm still finishing it up because I didn't have Facebook.
yeah, even Instagram and TikTok too. So that you can follow them on there.
Okay, well, look at that. So I didn't even
But
have to make a Facebook account.
but yeah, I remember seeing people post a DACA renewal on there. They're like, "Hey, mine got renewed in 7 days," and I was like, "How?"
You know what? I've been really lucky, and I usually get mine really quick, except for this last time. This last time it took a minute, but I usually get them like fast, like less than
I,
a month.
the fastest that I've gotten it was I went to renew, I think maybe in December, and it expired in March. My expiration months have gone from like July to like February, April, March, because the way it's
Like
always
take off
like
time, yeah.
yeah. And originally, my original expiration was somewhere in July. And then it went to April, and then February, and then March, and now I think it's back in April. I can't remember correctly, but that lawyer, he was like, he was like, you did it too soon. I was like, but it expires in February. He was like, well, right now they're doing it pretty quick, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, I would still like to do it, and not even like within like 3 weeks, I got my new card, and I was like, I think I just lost like 2 weeks, but oh well.
Yeah, yeah. I hate that they do that. It's like, why can't you just put the same month and date? Like,
Yeah,
why you
I mean,
gotta start counting from when you got it? Yeah, from when you're approving it.
at this point, I guess we're just paying for like a year and a half or something.
Yeah, that is so true. It's like, come on.
It's like if that's the case, like maybe help me out with the payments or something.
Right? It's like, y'all, yeah. And then I just found out that you can just do it online too, but I don't trust myself to do it online. They're like, you can just
Yeah,
copy and paste it. I'm like, no.
no, like my lawyer even sent me like my the previous forms that I did, and she was like, if you ever want to do it online, just copy and paste all this stuff. And I was like, I don't trust myself. I'd rather pay that extra money and have a lawyer do it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm convinced. I will find a way to mess it up.
Like I'd misspell my name or something.
Literally. Oh my God. A typo? Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard stories of like people even like if they use like different kinds of ink, like if they'll start with a blue ink and somehow go to a black ink,
Oh,
like
I
they'll get
can
it
see that.
rejected somehow.
I think they only want it in one color, I think. I think it's only in blue or something, I
Yeah, I
think.
think it is blue, like dark blue ink. That's the only color they want.
Yeah. It's like y'all are picky.
Like, come on, we're
Come
doing
on.
our best here.
Literally, it's like all I have is black. No, I gotta go out
Yeah,
and buy a blue pen.
yeah,
Y'all
and
are
like,
wild.
yeah, I mean, one time I was about to sign it with a red pen, and my dad was like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, my bad."
Hey, did you know that that's like bad luck? Somebody told me that was from Mexico. They were visiting from Mexico, and they told me like never to sign in red pen.
Oh my, that's all I do at work.
You're like, it's been working for me.
I mean, because I mean, something about a red pen, the way it just writes and everything, it looks so pretty in my opinion. But
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a black pen after this or something.
Oh my God. Ask your parents. Ask them and see. Because I was like, oh, wow. He was like, yeah, we don't do that in Mexico. We only sign with a blue or black pen. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay,
Interesting. I was like, I will never do that again. I will never give somebody a red pen.
notate and like note taking. I'm gonna
Literally,
remember
right?
that.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Okay. Jesus, to end it, do you have any words of encouragement for anybody out there who's struggling? Like I've been seeing a lot of videos of people that are just, struggling mentally, that are even thinking more about what we said about the whole self-deporting. Do you
Hmm.
have any advice?
Well, the self-deporting, like I said, I have thought about it, but in my opinion, like I said, it has to be the last resort because I would want to tough it out because like I have built a life here, made family, friends, and I just don't, I would not want to live that behind. And for people who are struggling, uh, like the people helping me right now is my parents and my friends. I suggest, I mean, hey, like some of my friends didn't even know about my DACA status until I explained it to them. And even my best friend now, who's a citizen, and he's white. He didn't know about what DACA was until I started explaining it to him. And he's been one of my biggest helps here. Like he saw how I wouldn't say I got depressed after Trump got elected or like after the immigration rates happened. He was like, I mean, I suggest, you're gonna have a community that's always gonna have your back. Like you're gonna have friends, families that can always be there for you through like thick and thin. And I mean, I would just lean on them. Like we're not alone. Like we may think we're alone, but we're not. I used to think, I mean, even though I knew this wasn't true, I used to think that I was the only like DACA recipient going through the same thing. And it wasn't until I started talking to my cousin and seeing on TikTok all these friends that I have made, like going through like church retreats and all that stuff. And you'd be surprised how many, like even in a small town, how many people had DACA. And I would suggest like even if you don't want to go out and find a community, if you want to have that one person helping you through it, like I've had multiple people helping me through it, like through my anxiety, through my like depression episodes and all that stuff. They have always been there for you. I mean, been there for me and made me realize that I'm not alone. I mean, from my first DACA renewal that was taking forever, I thought I was alone. It wasn't until I started telling people like what I was going through, and then they were like, "Hey, we don't." They told me like, "Hey, we don't love you any less for your status. Like, you have been here your entire life. You deserve to be here." And yes, there's gonna be people out there who think we don't deserve to be here, but there's more people out there that have our backs.
Yes, for
And
sure.
I know not many people are religious, but like once I started like going to like church and church groups and all that stuff, and especially like in the Hispanic community, there's people out there that like know what you're going through. They have been living basically like I wouldn't say the same life, but have had the same experiences as you have, and I mean they're there to talk about it. Like it just even now sharing my story right now has made me feel better about like DACA itself and like the future of DACA, and just speaking out, like talking to just a friend, like having them listen has helped me out in multiple. And like I said, I know multiple people out there may not be religious or not anything like that, but like I have I have not opened my Bible this much ever since like um I found out like Trump was going to be the new president. And like I mean I had hope even from the beginning that I knew he was going to be the president, that he was going to do something for DACA. I was hoping and praying, and I feel like if I wouldn't have to turn my life to like to God and going to church and opening and reading my Bible, I feel like my anxiety would probably be a lot worse.
Right, yeah. I feel like there's such like the community's growing so much,
Hmm.
especially like on social media. Like you can find somebody to talk to, take a load off if you're feeling, like too anxious with whatever's going on. I
Yeah,
feel
like
like
I said, like my friends, my best friend right now, he like he checks up on me every now and then. He'll like he'll even send me like news about like raids and all that stuff. Like even if there's like a slight rumor about DACA maybe getting like a pathway to citizenship, he'll send me and be like, "Hey, there's hope." Like
yeah. Oh, I love that.
even my Hispanic friends that are citizens here, they're like they know what I'm going through. They know the struggles that they have, and they have have helped me so much. My one of my best friends since childhood, he works at a lawyer's office in not too far from here. And when my lawyer, I think I've gone through so many lawyers because one, they either moved away or
Same
they
here. Yeah.
yeah like, but I think I want to say my third lawyer, he moved like 5 states away, and I was like, oh dang. And my friend, like, I didn't think anyone would go throughout this trouble to help out like especially a DACA recipient. And they like spent their entire day looking for a lawyer for me. And like throughout, like at the end of the day, like I had a new lawyer because of them. So I mean, moral, what I'm trying to say, there's always going to be someone out there, whether it's your family, friends, that's willing to help you. Like I said, there's going to be people out there hating on you, but like there's going to be more people,
Turn you on.
supporting you and
Yeah.
helping you out. I have like at a church group that I go to, like I I think I gave out my Snapchat to like three like people. I was like, look, I know you're a DACA recipient. If you ever need like any kind of like sources or any kind of like advice or help or how to do something, like here you go.
There you go.
And I mean another big
Let
help
me know.
is yeah, another big help is like my girlfriend. She has been helping me like throughout this entire process. Like even when I was renewing my DACA the first time, I mean not the first time, last year, and like as soon as like that first day of technically like it being expired, like every time I would be on the borderline of having like maybe an anxiety attack or something, she would be the one
Uh,
like to calm me down to like, hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like, yes, it may get tired of hearing people saying it's gonna be okay,
right.
but at the end of the day, it's most likely gonna
It
be
will.
okay.
It will. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
think about it like this: we've been through it before. We came
Yes.
out stronger, and we can code through it again. We'll come out stronger again. And I don't mean to sound like conceited in any way, but like this country probably could not thrive without us.
No, and they're already seeing it. They're already seeing the
Hmm.
effects of it.
And
So
like,
they won't be able to.
yeah, I mean, we help out. Some of us are nurses, lawyers, engineers, and even people that work out like in the fields. Uh, they can't do it without us. Like
Yeah.
we have
Exactly.
contributed so much to this country to the point where like I said, we deserve to be here, and
Yes.
we're playing our part, whether whether they like it or not. They're gonna
Literally.
realize that one day that we're essential, basically.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
majority of us during COVID were essential workers. They can't say now that
Yeah.
we're not essential.
Yes, yeah, one of the girls, yeah, one of the, my second interviews, yeah, she was a social worker, and she was like, "I was out there. I was
Mhm.
an essential worker," yeah. Yeah, and I was like, "That is so true."
And even if you think that you are not contributing to this like country, you are. Like
Oh, yeah,
even the
sure.
slightest like farm worker, that fruit that you pick, that vegetable that you pick, you are
Yeah,
like that's gonna end up at the end of the day at on someone's table. Like you
yes,
are helping feed America. You're helping like nurses, medical fields. Like you are curing people. Like you're helping people out. And um, my girlfriend, she's a citizen here, but like I feel like this could go out to like all the DACA nurses and people in the medical field or even social workers. She's told me the light on people's faces when they realize that there's someone there that can speak their language.
oh, yeah,
Like, I mean, it's, it brings like joy to my heart knowing that like we're out there helping people, like helping, our people as well.
sure, yeah, that is such a good point, yes, because yeah, we're out there doing the jobs, and it's benefiting our people too.
Mhm.
That is amazing, yeah,
And even when I was working at a grocery store, seeing, someone that cannot speak English trying to like, go up to like a English speaking cashier and they're like, hey, like, in their own little broken English, trying to look in for like the simplest thing, like I guess, a banana or something, or like maybe an
yeah,
apple, and they were trying to say it, and then seeing me walk down the aisle, like down the grocery, and seeing me like, it's like a a breath of fresh air, knowing that I could like,
sure, yeah,
help them even find like a bag of rice, like to
for
that
sure,
point.
yes,
And
yeah,
like all the factories that I've worked there, like, seeing, um, people of my skin color, the people of like my heritage working there, like some of them may not speak English, and having someone like, a Spanish speaker, like a DACA recipient, even like, I'm just speaking in general for like the Latino community here, like seeing
yeah,
someone out there in like those higher up roles and helping someone out, like just to that can't speak English do like a better job. Like I have like I felt proud when like someone would call me, even though it wasn't like technically my role. I was like I said, like in the motorhome place, I was over cabinets, but like if it had to do with plumbing or like even like the welding shop, they would call me out there and be like, hey, can you just translate real quick for me? And like, cause like it would help out people like us that couldn't speak
yeah,
English, like it would help them
yeah,
out a lot knowing that I could like go out there and help them understand how to do their job better.
for sure, and I bet you they are so grateful.
Hmm. And I feel like we're making our not just our Latino parents, like just the Latino community prouder seeing us like, on those higher up roles, like in the medical field, like as CEOs, as like lawyers, as like managers, and just even as simple as being like in product development, like me. I feel like my parents tell me, like even the Hispanic community here, they tell me how proud they are of me, like being able to like just with a 2-year degree have a role like the role that I have.
Yeah, that
And
is
like
amazing.
if someone out there ever feels hopeless that they're not doing anything, like there's someone out there proud for you.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Perfect, perfect way to end the episode. There's
Hmm.
always somebody out there proud for you. I
You're
love
always
it.
gonna, yeah, you're always gonna be helping someone out, whether you know it or not. So,
Yes. Yeah, so true. They always say, like, be kind, you never know what somebody else is going through.
hmm
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Jesus, for coming on and sharing your story. I learned so much.
thank you for having me. I was very excited. I was a little bit nervous too.
Oh my
So
I
yeah,
know. I was like, don't be nervous.
yeah,
It's
I'm not good at public
cool.
speaking, even though
Oh
that's
my God. Me neither. I hate it. But I
it's
feel
part of
like
my job. So
everybody has just been like so amazing. I just feel like I'm talking to friends.
yeah, that's. I mean, it's glad to know that like even we've never like met each other before. Like it's glad to know that like we have basically been through the same thing before, like that, like DACA renewals and all that stuff. It feels like every DACA recipient I meet, like including you, that I've known them like my entire life.
Yes. Yeah. Literally, there's so many similarities. Even though our stories may be a little different, we have a lot that brings us together.
Hmm.
Yes.
And it's good to know that too. Like I said, you're never alone. There's always that someone out there going through the same thing that you are,
For
and they're willing
sure.
to help you.
Yes. Yes. And there's a big community out there, guys. We got your back.
Yes, we do. And like I said,
Yes.
anyone that needs help, you can always reach out to anyone, me included.
Yes. I got you too. Or Dreamers Together. That was a Facebook group that is doing great work out there. And just anybody on TikTok. Feel
Hmm.
like you can always find somebody to support you.
I have been seeing a bunch of like DACA recipients on TikTok willing to help anyone out. So
Yes.
there's always
So
someone out there that's willing to like lend a hand.
yes. Yes. So don't let this get to you. We're strong. We will overcome this next four
Hmm.
years.
What's that saying? Juntos podemos, or strong together we can, something like that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Como dicen en México, sí se puede.
Sí se puede, sí.
Yes. Gracias, Jesus,
Yes,
again
de
for
nada.
coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to
Thank you.
come
I
on and
appreciate
share
you
your
having me.
story. There you go. We got you guys. Thank
Hmm.
you guys again, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you again.
Bye, Jesus.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to Voices of Dreamers. I hope today's conversation inspired you a deeper understanding of the incredible stories within the DACA community. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with friends, leave a review, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember, we all have a voice, and together we can make a difference. Until next time, keep dreaming big, and I'll see you soon.